Okay, guys, new series, and I am so excited. I'm so glad you clicked on the video. NBC just started this State of Affairs with Katherine Heigl and Alfre Woodard. Those are the two main characters. I've been waiting for months for this to get started, and it did not disappoint at all, guys. So I'm going to get into this because, again, this is kind of... it's in the vein of the whole, like, Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder and that kind of thing. You know, I love those two shows. But there's a lot of information. So let's go ahead and get through this, okay? So we start off, and Kabul, I think it's Kabul, or Kabul. It's in Afghanistan. But it's basically like flashbacks. Katherine Heigl's character, her name is Charleston. Is her name. She works for the CIA, okay? And Charlie, for short, is what they actually call her. She's that girl, okay? She's in with her psychologist, and she's actually going through, and the psychologist is telling her that she's basically suppressing some of her memories from this traumatic experience. Her and her fiancé, his name was Aaron. Aaron, and he was a doctor as well. Aaron actually was murdered while they were in Afghanistan. They were hit by terrorists, and they were attacked, and he was killed. The twist to all that is that Aaron happens to be Alfre Woodard, who they actually call POTUS. That is her son. So that's where we're at. Katherine Heigl, Charleston. She's a CIA agent, and she is engaged to the president's son. The president's son got killed on a mission that they were on. And this is basically where we are. So we come into the office. She's coming in. She has another issue, too, where she sleeps around. She has an issue about sleeping around. She's a little hoe. I guess after the little, fiance was gone, then that's how she covers her pain by giving up her coot. So, whatever. But she does that. The doctor even said to her, she says, nothing good comes from that sleeping around. And she's like, that's okay, because I do. Trifling. But whatever. I love her just the same. She's a hard ass. But anyway, so, okay, going into the office, she basically reporting into the office at 2 in the morning is what time she starts. She has a team that works with her, which is Maureen, Kurt, and his name is Dozier, I think is what it is. Dozier or Dozier. It's those three she works very closely with. They are briefers, is what they are. And then there's this new guy who's starting at this specific day. I can't talk today. I'm sorry, guys. This specific day, and his name is Lucas Newsom. She doesn't really trust him. Like, right from the bat, I didn't either. She's looking at him, and she said, first of all, he was a little old to be doing the briefer job. And she just didn't trust him. Just didn't sit right. And I thought he was a little shady looking. So, they start right in. What they basically do, they keep their eye on the top 10 threats to our country at all times. This is what they do. And then they report by way of this little black book to the president. And there's only hours in between there. Like, that report goes out probably right around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And like I said, she reports into work at 2. So it's constant craziness. They're over top of the internet, and they're watching everything. Well, while they're actually there this day, there's some stuff that has taken place over in Kenya. There's a doctor who actually favors Aaron. His name is Dr. Butler. He's actually been accosted by a terrorist group, and they're actually in connection with the terrorists that actually killed the president's son. This also happens to be the same day of the president's son's memorial service. Is actually this day as well. So there's this whole thing going on. Khattab is the top of that whole network. Abdel Fattah is the terrorist that actually did everything that ended up getting Aaron killed. So he is like public enemy number one. They want him gone. So they're there in Kenya. They have this whole thing that's come up. It's on the screen, and they're sending videos. They're beheading people and carrying on. And they're saying if we don't release 25 of their brothers from captivity, that they're going to just keep killing. So this is what they're doing. So there's another guy named Duncan. Duncan is actually in Kenya. He is a team in Kenya. He's like an excellent team lead. He's in Kenya. He has things on Fatah that he says it's a 50% chance that he could kill Fatah. And Charleston didn't want to move on it. So everybody didn't agree with that. She didn't want to move on it because she said, with only 50%, if they miss, then they'll probably just vanish and they won't be able to get them. You know what I mean? And she says it's better to get the whole network and knock them all out rather than to lose everything that you got on something moving too quick. So everybody didn't agree, but that was not in the black book. That was not given into the black book. So they actually went on head on. She basically went to the White House, made her report. By the time, because she told Duncan to call her back when he got to an 80% chance about killing Fatah. So she's on her way to the White House to make her report. She started getting these weird text messages. And the text messages, she didn't know who it was from. She had them trace the line. They can't find who it's from. They're basically telling her, yeah, I know what you did, and this, that, thing, and the other. And just going on with these personal text messages. They even knew what she had on when she got to the White House. So somebody's just really watching her that has a lot of intel. So she had gotten her little people on that. She didn't say anything to the president about it. She reported. She came on out of there. On her way back to the CIA office, by this time, we're over there. They have this other guy named Khan. Khan is someone that they have actually brought in who claims to have all these connections that they're going to help get Fatah and get rid of him. Now, in the background of that, this guy had actually gotten in trouble like a month prior from French intelligence, where he smuggled a cell phone in the lining of his coat into the French's version of the CIA. Okay? So the director, Skinner, he's a jackass. Absolute jackass. And he basically, I think he doesn't care for the fact that Charlie he doesn't care for her. He's basically gunning for her, okay? So he wants to put this Khan guy right in front of POTUS. He wants to talk to POTUS. He wants to talk directly to our president. And everybody else is against it. He's gunning for Charlie. He ends up finding out some kind of way that there was the 50% chance of killing Fatah and she didn't move on it. So he ends up getting in contact with the president. Now he's making his way on out there. They're wondering how the hell did Khan even get to the 7th floor of the CIA? How did anybody approve that shit? And it was just, everything was just a whole big mess. So coming back in, we got Charlie is coming across the parking lot. Maureen's on the phone with her, letting her know that the shit is going down, okay? Shit's going down. Skinner's coming for you. And there's just an email just that went out. She was suspended. He had actually suspended her. So she was literally in the lobby, just getting ready to go up to swipe her card. As soon as she'd have swiped, would have set the bells off and they would have detained her. She was like, okay, Maureen, perfect time. And she spun around, had this badass white and black dress on, this black leather jacket. That bitch pumped right on up out of there. She walked right on back out that lobby. As she was getting out of the lobby, they caught it, and they're like, they were trying to keep it down. They sent there was an officer right behind her. There was information that she needed in a folder that was upstairs. She sends Maureen to get the folder and told her, meet me in the loading dock 10 minutes. So she goes, she's hitting it. She makes a phone call because as she's coming in, she's seeing that Khan is actually on his way out. They're on the way to the damn White House at that point. So she's getting everything together. So she calls in a friend. She has this friend named Sid, okay? Sid's this guy. You know, we always got that one. He's out walking the damn dog in the park. Don't nobody know. That motherfucker will take your head off, okay? But he walking the dog in the park. She gets on. She's like, how much time I got it? She's like, maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes. He's like, you owe me one, kid. So, you know, I just loved him from the door because he was just business. So that was it. We didn't see him again. We see her going. She's on her way to the loading dock where she told Maureen she's going to meet her at the civilian loading dock. So this was so bad. I was screaming. You know, by this time, y'all know how I go. I was screaming by this time. So she goes, she's marching, heels and all. She's going on down here, and this little officer is behind her, but far enough behind her that he didn't catch where her and Maureen switched and she had given her the folder. She goes, and he says, Mrs. Tucker, that's her last name, Tucker. And that bitch hit it, boom, 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 bam. Switched behind these little load dock things, and he lost her. Lost her. He's like, what the hell? Next thing you know, they're pulling out, you know, they come on out. There's all these big wooden rafter things that are on there. That bitch was on that truck. She got on the truck in between the rafters and rode right on out of the CIA loading dock building. Went on, and when they got around the corner and got to a stop, she jumps on out, baby. There's a cab behind her. She jumps in the cab and told him 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And she's on her way to the president. Okay, in that time, Sid has pulled a good stunt. He intercepts the truck that is actually taking Khan and Director Skinner to the White House. So they told the director, they said, you know what, there's been a hit on you, and we had to intercept. They told them they're going to take your truck. They're going to take that truck and check it for explosives, this, that, thing, and the other. They separated him and Khan up. Of course, you know, if they tell you they're going to blow your ass up, you ain't saying nothing. And he's like, did you know about this? Whatever, whatever. So they separate them up. Sid is in the truck with Khan, him and his little couple people, and they throw Khan up in their truck. They rolling out. They get in. They're telling him, okay, well, what's going on? You know, this, that, thing, and the other. And Khan's saying some old slick shit. Next thing you know, there's a knife out. And he's like, if you got a cell phone or something on you, I'm going to give you the chance to give it to me. If you don't give it to me, I'm going to start cutting until I find it. And then he thought about it. He looked at him. And he snatched that motherfucker's hat off. Sure enough, he had the damn cell phone was sewn up into his hat. Because it never got out public about what he did with the suit. So he thought he was going to get away with it again. And he had actually got him, told him, he said, you know about water boys? He said, we don't deal with water boys. We just drown people. That's what we do. And went on. And this time, since that held them up some, that gave Charleston some time. So Charlie had made her way to the White House. By this time, they're in the office, in the Oval Office, talking with the president. And the new guy was actually there, because he's kind of like the little sidekick to Skinner, okay? So he's sitting there with Skinner. She busts up in the office, and that's when he's like, oh, good to see her. You know, she's just been suspended. I just was telling them, the president, you've been suspended for holding back information, this, that, thing, and the other. So now she's on the spot in front of the president. The president's asking her questions. Could we have killed Fatah today? You know, she said there's a possibility, but I was not sure about it. So I had to make a decision. And he's like, and that decision is not yours. That decision is for the president of the United States. This, that, thing, and the other. In the midst of all this, her cell phone rings. Boom. Gets the information and it was Sid telling her, you know what? The cell phone was in the lining of his hat, and the shit that was on the SIM card was literally just sinful. So he was getting ready to fuck us real good. So at this point, Skinner's looking like an idiot, because here you are getting ready to bring the enemy directly into the White House and fuck us all. So that was that. So nothing, you know, everything was done. Everything was reversed. they end up going on. Everything worked out real cool right there. I was screaming, though, at that point. Just done. Just screaming and hollering. But anyway, so they go on, and now they're at, the president told them, she said, you know, there's a doctor, this, that, thing, and the other. And President Alfre Woodard, she was like, let's go get him. Let's bring him home. So all of that, they showed all of that. Them actually doing the mission, busting in there, grabbing him out of there. They got the doctor. He was still living. Got him on out of there. He was the last one left. Brought him on home. So that was like, all right, cool, no problem. So then the next thing, we're at the memorial service. And they did all that. I ain't going through all that. But they went through all of the memorial service and all that. And then instead of doing taps, she wanted to play Coltrane. So they did all that. I thought that was cool. Then they were walking across the cemetery, the president and Charlie. And she told her, she says, she told her, ma'am, I just want you to know, I felt in my gut that I knew I was doing the right thing. If we had lost him, we would have lost the whole network, and we need to get them and bring them all down. So she told her, she said, are we going to get Fata? Are we going to get him? Are we going to kill him? You know? And she said, she went to answer the question, and Alfre Woodard stopped her. She said, no, I don't want to hear from the CIA agent. I want to hear from the woman who loved my son, that was going to give me some grandbabies. That's the woman I want to hear from. Are we going to kill Fata? And she told her, she said, let me tell you something, Constance. She said, I am going to find every person that had something to do with your son's death, and I am going to take and end all of their lives. Man, Alfre Woodard turned around to her and tapped her and rubbed her suit and said, that's my girl. I said, come on now. So I'm like, done. I said, this is the shit right here. So they got some shit going on, okay? And then Alfre Woodard told her, she said, you know, his death will make killers out of the both of us. So Alfred's a pretty rough little bag too. I said, okay, let's do this. So then I'm like, all right, so I thought we was ready to go off. No, there's a whole other piece. There's a guy named Nick. At this point, after when Charlie comes home, Nick done broke up in her apartment. So he's like another agent that was on our side, but he looks real wild and tattered. He'd have come up in there, got her guns, found all her guns, got them, and he's sitting up in the kitchen, drinking her fucking scotch, talking shit. And they're talking this cryptic talk. He didn't know about the text. She thought he was the one sending the text. He didn't know anything about the text. He didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. And then he's like, so somebody else knows this, that, and the other. It all comes down. It's kind of weird and kind of open, but that goddamn Fata was her intelligence person. She was actually working with Fata, and he double-crossed her and created the hit that ended up getting Aaron killed and all that. So, you know, she got a real thing going on, but the president don't know anything about that. So that's the whole thing. So she has like a lot of different secrets. There's a lot of shit that's going to go down on this program. A lot of shit's going to be found out. Everybody's lying. You know, good TV shit. Everybody's telling lies and everybody's being sneaky. Shit, I love it. So this is it, guys. I'm going to definitely be following this Monday nights at 10 on NBC. State of Affairs. This was the first episode. It was the pilot episode, and I absolutely enjoyed it. So you guys can thumbs up or thumbs down the video. Know that I will be here each week, and I will be doing this show right along. I'll still be doing Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder as well, but I will definitely be doing this State of Affairs. I think this is going to be really, really good, guys. All right, so I got to go for now, but I'll catch you guys next Monday with this State of Affairs. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.